Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to EDD, Setting Up the Engineering Journal. The Engineering Journal is probably one of the first steps for really getting the whole class started. This journal is going to be the blood of the class. That's what I always tell my students. Everything we do, everything we think of will be recorded inside this journal. So good practice is to keep a well-documented journal. We want it to be neat, we want it to be legible, and we always want to have it on our sides at all times. There's some basic rules, though, that we're going to go over when keeping a journal. Now, as an EDD instructor, your students should have experience using a journal, whether it's in their Introduction to Engineering class, Principles of Engineering, digital electronics, SIM, CEA. So this shouldn't be a new concept to them. But I also feel that an EDD is also a way for you to kind of hone in on their engineering skills for keeping the journal. So what I make sure that we have for summer training and also for our students at the start of the new school year is I always make sure that students have a brand new quad ruled notebook. They can be one of the Project Lead the Way ones. They can be one of the ones from Staples. I know my counterpart out in California, his name is Mike Martin over at Riverside High School. He has like a $20,000 budget. So he has some nice hardcover journals he orders, has the school logo on it, has the student's name and gold leaf stamped. Great. He says, you know what? Students are seniors. They're privileged. Here they are. They made it to the capstone class. I want them to have a nice professional journal. Even better, I would probably do the same if I had a budget for it. But the first thing I do when I distribute these journals, regardless what the journal is I have students carefully use a Sharpie marker and they print their name nice and neat on the front cover. On there, they have Project Lead the Way EDD, the name of the high school, and then in this case for us, you can put the name of your high school, summer 2021. Then as soon as they open up that journal, right inside that inside cover, they're going to put their name, their phone number, their email address. Now, when I first started teaching EDD, I had a student who had his book bag stolen, and his engineering journal was the only thing that the police were able to recognize when they found his bag laying out by some dumpster. So I always tell students, put your name on everything. So we want them to put their name and their contact information right inside that inside cover. We go all the way to the back of the journal. We actually open up to the very last page and we count in 3 pages. And my students, they set up this area for resources. So as they start the EDD class, as they go through the journey and we go through each of the elements in the curriculum, my students will actually write down resources that they come across. Just like a book, inside a regular book, you have a section that has all the resources inside it. So I give them this example and feel free to write this example in your own journal. This way you have a basic guide to look at. So here's one example. Apple Computer, they write the website down, they write the date that they access the website, and a quick little blurb of what they use that website for. So maybe they were using the website to, design some type of new iPhone case. So they wanted to do some research to get the specs about it, find out some data about the iPhone. So they wrote the company name, web address, date they accessed it, and just a couple keywords that they used from that website. So this way, if they ever have to go back, they always have all the resources right there in that area. Now, I know some teachers, they make students write everything down in APA or MLA format in the back in the resources section. I tried that one year, but students just, they didn't want to write anything in the journal because it was such a pain in the butt to put everything inside that format. So I don't care what they do in the back as long as they're writing information down. So from that resources section, they count in another 3 pages, and this is their contact section. Inside the contact section, actually we have Jay is going to give us his cell phone information that we'll add inside there later. But inside that contact section, you can go ahead and record my information. And I do this for my students. I give them my name, I give them my title, name of the school, email address, I give them my office number, which they never call. I don't want to get into the thing of giving students my cell phone. Some people are for it. Hey, totally up to you. But for you guys, for summer training, when you write my contact information inside there, you can have my cell, 315-289-7057. If you have any questions, you can always text me or call. But just want to give you a warning. I get a lot of calls that I screen, so if I don't answer right away, try texting me or leave me a message and I'll get back to you. And then Jay's going to give his information as well. But I do know you can write his information down. He works at Howard High School, and his email is julius_moray@hcpps.org. So these are good resources to have, even here for summer training, because you may have to email us for different things or even contact us. Same thing with your students. My students have my contact information, and then when they start getting in teams, and also when you start getting in teams, you'll be recording your team members' contact information as well. So these are the two sections in the back: resources and contact section. So I leave a couple pages in the back that they'll use. Now, if we open up to the very first page inside the journal, this is going to be the table of contents. Now, if you're using the Project Lead the Way journal, you already have your table of contents probably already made inside there. But if you're using like just a regular journal that has nothing inside it but the quad ruled, and by the way, I think quad ruled is the way to go, just because when you do a lot of drawing and sketching, it makes life easy with that quad ruled journal pages. But anyways, in that table of contents, I have my students set up, a column for a description or what it is that they're keeping track of, and then the page number. And I know one of our first activities that we're doing is problem identification. So we can go ahead and list problem identification under our description in our table of contents, and we know that this is going to start on page 1. Now, it may carry over to other pages, so we can always update this table of contents later on. And when my students use the journal, we always use black pen, because black pen, it doesn't fade, easy to photocopy. I don't allow them to use black Sharpie marker on the pages because they tend to bleed through on the journal. But there's some basic formatting that we follow. Every page that we do is going to have a date up on top, is going to have a page title, and is going to have a page number. So as they go through each of the pages inside their journal, they're keeping each page formatted consistently. So even if they have 5 pages for problem identification, every single page will have a date, page title on there, and a page number. So on page 1, we're actually going to start off and kind of tie into that magazine project we talked about during the day 0 meet and greet course introduction. Kind of like the "don't you hate it when," "gee, I wish I had" statements, or that magazine scenario. So what we're going to do on this very first page is you're going to write your 5 ideas down. So remember when I said you're at the airport, you just found out that this 8-hour flight you have has no media, no internet, no Wi-Fi, no streaming videos, and the seat rests in front of you. So you go to Hudson News and you want to buy 5 magazines. Well, what are those 5 magazine areas? What are those 5 magazine areas? So this is what our activity is for the start of class on Monday, which is day 1, is we want you to write those 5 ideas down right here inside your first page inside your engineering journal. I know for me, my 5 ideas is going to be golf related, fitness, beach, something that has to do with household items, and then COVID-19, just because it's been a hot topic for the last year and a half. As much as I'm sick of hearing about it in the news and everything else, it still impacts all of our lives very, very greatly and seriously. So that's one of the first activities you want to have done prior to the start of class on Monday, is have your journal, have it set up, put the contact section, resources section, table of contents, and then we're going to start on page 1 and put your 5 different ideas inside here. Now, if you want to take it even further, what you can do is add some little subtopics inside those areas. Well, regarding the beach, regarding golf, regarding COVID-19, regarding fitness, what are some don't you hate it when or gee, I wish I had areas for those particular topics? And this is kind of what's going to segue into our day one. And I know for golf, hey, every time I tee up my golf ball, as soon as I take a couple steps back to grab my driver, that golf ball falls down. Or when I retrieve my golf ball from the rough, I get poison ivy. I'm scared of those snakes inside there. Um, even too, keeping beverages steady in the golf cart's always a big one. Sometimes I go over a bump and then my root beer comes out and goes all over the place. Fitness related, clipping weight on and off, tangle up jump ropes, centering the bench under the bar are always some of the challenges that I have. So I'm starting to take a look at these problems even deeper. But that's kind of where we are heading to next. So, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching this. Again, this prior to the start of training, let's get our journal, let's set it up, let's get our names on it, let's set up our contacts, resources section in the back, start the table of contents, and we can start our page one with our problem identification. What 5 areas interest you? What are your hobbies? What are your special interests? What do you like to do outside of school? Or even what do you like to do inside school? Just something to think about. All right. Look forward to seeing you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Let us know if you have any questions. We will talk to you guys soon.